Hello guys, this is Snidmist, and today's video, as you can read from the title, is going to be about the electric drivers. So I hope everyone remembers them. These electric drivers came with, the first one was Hybrid, which came with the Regalia Genesis Beyblade, and the second one was Imperial Dragon's electric driver. I actually forgot its name. I believe, yes, it was Ignition Dash. So it was actually a dash driver. So they both were really cool, superb technologies. They were actually Beyblades itself. The driver was so heavy and so bulky that it itself looked like a Beyblade in it. If you compare it with the previous Beyblades, let's say Evolution and those are Beyblades, so it was like a amazing thing. These drivers also featured both left and right layer compatibility, so no matter the layer, they could be used in any of those, being it left or right. So they were like really cool at that time. There was a great hype. So today we'll see and discuss that can we see any more of electric drivers in the future of Beyblade Burst Parking or no. So to begin with, we would talk about some of the features of these drivers. So let's talk about Hybrid first. So Hybrid and then Ignition Dash. The two things these drivers have in common is the entire weight of the driver is rested upon these two small tips here. So you can see how tiny they are, and if you carefully look at it, I don't know in the video if you can see it, they are not actually whole flat also. They are actually tapered at that edge, and it's a very small area there on which the entire weight of this driver plus the entire weight of a GT layer, which consists of a chip, and then sometimes you have your standard GT layers with the weight and then the layer. So all these things, the entire weight of the driver plus this standard GT layer will be on this small tip. So therefore the pressure on the tip is actually a lot, and because of which the balance is very you can say not up to the mark. It is very easy to destabilize these Beyblades. So that was like one of the drawbacks which I could see instantaneously when these drivers were released, but I never talked about them. Because the hype was very huge and people were enjoying these drivers. They do have a certain competitive value, but the problem is due to the heavy destabilization of these drivers, other combos such as, let's say, Zwei Longinus with Acid Dash, Zwei Longinus with, let's say, Extreme Dash, then Judgment Joker with Quick Dash could easily destabilize these Beyblades and throw them out of the stadium. That was the first point. The second point was, when we talk about Hybrid, it had the tendency to catch up speed in one direction. So it could, like when you launch it, suddenly after some time it would spin vigorously, like the speed would increase but in one direction. So that was still competitively viable and okayish. But when we saw Ignition Dash, the problem was it had a tendency to first have a opposite spin. So when it was launched, it would go this way. Let's suppose it's going this way, then suddenly it would stop and then go like this, which would lead to a lot of spin loss for the Beyblade, the combo. And if no contact was made, it would lead to opponent's self-destruction actually. This specific feature was exactly seen in Dronzer Gigs and Dronzer Gigs Turbo, which had the reverse engine gear capacity, where the Beyblade was actually right rotation, but the engine gear would go in left, like it would start in left rotation, because of which the Beyblade would get a zigzag pattern. But that was just cool for the anime, and in real life it never worked. So the same problem with Ignition. So that's why Ignition driver was not that cool. It was like a luck based thing. Then if you made contact, excellent, but if you don't make contact, it's horrible. So just for demonstration purpose, I would just show you what the ignition driver does, because actually I haven't also used these drivers for a long time now, so I don't know if they work also properly. I hope they work. So yeah, can you see that it's countering its own spin and the Beyblade itself is resisting it, and now the resistance has stopped and therefore now the Beyblade is completely wobbly. You can see it's struggling to maintain the balance of the imperial layer plus the driver on that very small tip. So there you have it. That was a big you can say a drawback in this driver. So after Imperial Dragon, yeah, what is happening I am not sure about it, and that's the special ability of these drivers. So there you have it. That was not a cool thing to happen for your Beyblade. So if it didn't make contact with your opponents, it was a tremendous disgraceful thing to happen. So for like, let's put it in perspective and do a battle. So we have Dead Phoenix standard combo, 0 atomic, and then we have this Imperial Dragon. So 3, 2, 1, go, shoot. Can you see Imperial Dragon, how much spin it lost there? It's Dead Phoenix, so it could still win. Yeah, it could win, but it barely managed to win there. It was almost on its last breath. So that's the problem with these drivers. They self-destruct themselves, and therefore that being a drawback. Till date, we didn't see a new electric driver. Like, sure, in the anime, your Regalia Genesis upgrade, which is Big Bang Genesis, got a electric driver only, which was hybrid. But in real life, the Big Bang Genesis, if you can see, 1 second. Here is the Big Bang Genesis. If you can see, it didn't get an electric driver. It was yard metal. So that was also scrapped. Then now you have your Tempest Dragon, which also again was pushed back to a upgradation of the previous dragon, which was Ace Dragon, being the driver which was charged, and now it's charged metal. So there you can see the Beyblades which should have got electric drivers in the future also. The protagonists also stopped using those drivers. So that was like an indication where you can see these drivers actually don't make any sense. 1 second, we'll just do a battle of these two Beyblades also and see what happens. Oh my god, I couldn't launch it properly. I just start scraping a lot and all. So still we would do it actually, to prove it that the drivers are not in competitive state at all. Wow, so now contact was made and it could OS it, but see, again that thing started and now suddenly it will stop. Or else it's not stopping also. Yeah, it's going in that attack mode. Yeah, that's death of the Beyblade. And now it stopped. So it killed a lot of spin and all. So therefore the Beyblades which were the upgrades of this also didn't get this Beyblade. So overall I feel that electric drivers won't see any more light in Beyblade Burst Sparking also. If they come, it would be really cool to see, or maybe they could implement something close to engine gear, which is mechanical rather than electronic. So there you have it, guys. That was my thought for the competitiveness of these combos, the electric drivers especially. If you have any other thoughts about it, do comment down below. I would love to hear that. And till the next video, guys, take care and bye bye.